Okay, top 5 Cowboys predictions for the next week. That last story that Craig said about Jerry Jones notwithstanding.
Yeah, I mean, I wish we could have just had a couple extra minutes, and that would have come out a couple minutes earlier. We could ask John about that one, because I'm sure he's all over it now.
Yeah. But these are top 5 things I think are going to hit in the next week as they get towards free agency, 5th day of the league year, all that jazz. Number 5, no big free agent moves. Nothing that, Bobby Wagner, that's not going to happen. They're not going to really do that. The only way they get Bobby Wagner is if, Bobby Wagner's thrown out into the rest of the league, and the rest of the league all offers him 1-year deals, and he just picks the place he wants to go the most. That's it. I don't think that's going to happen. Bobby Wagner's been an elite linebacker, one of the best in the league, if not the best, for over a decade now. Somebody good is going to give him multiple years to come and play there.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to get his money, and yeah, I don't think it'll come from Dallas either. I just think that based on everything we've heard from guys like John and David and even Mickey, like, they're not going to be big spenders. I mean, you're going to see a lot of 1-year deals. So, yeah, if you're Bobby Wagner, you're not going to come sign a 1-year deal in Dallas, and at this stage in your career, when you're probably going to have multiple year offers from some other teams. But and Antonio Brown, please. I mean, Jerry, it gets a bad rap sometimes because over the years they did bring in Tank Johnson and Pac-Man Jones and every hooligan under the sun. But I mean, even I think he's too far gone for even Jerry Jones to even contemplate that. But yeah, I mean, there's other names out there, but yeah, it sounds like they're just going to kind of stay pat with what they got.
If your 2 running buddies are Kanye and Floyd Mayweather, I think that's even beyond the Cowboy circus.
It's an interesting crew. I will say, though, for those who haven't watched it, the Netflix series on Kanye West is magnificent. I'm not even a huge – I mean, I love Kanye's earlier music. I haven't been so much of a fan in the last few years because it's just a little too much drama for me. But it's incredible. I mean, the amount of footage this guy shot and the foresight to have been recording the entire length of his career, basically, and to have all of that footage, it's amazing. Just a recommendation there.
Yeah. Number 4, Jayron comes back. I don't know if this will be a 1-year deal or a 2-year deal, 1-year deal with an option or something like that, but I do think this is one of the free agents that they do bring back because he fit Dan Quinn's defense really well. Safety's a position where they could potentially lose 4 guys. You don't want to lose all 4. You at least bring 1 back to bring some consistency because the secondary, the cornerbacks are all pretty good. When you think about Trayvon Diggs is fantastic at intercepting the ball and also probably only going to get better in coverage.
Well, now that Carson Wentz is in the division again,
there you go. Couple picks, right?
Yeah, there you go. So Jayron probably comes back. He fit really well there, and he's not a guy who's probably going to command a lot because he might be viewed as a person who works well in that system, and I think that'd be a good move for the Cowboys to bring back Jayron.
Well, for as much as we talk about the deals that they do that don't pan out or, the ridiculous contracts that maybe at times have blown up in their faces, I mean, to sign a guy to a prove-it deal and to have him absolutely prove it, yeah, I think he's earned another run with the Cowboys, and I think they liked what they saw. How could you not? So, yeah, I mean, they do have a lot of questions, but I don't think that one's much of one. I would expect him back as well.
Yeah. Number 3, Michael Gallup signs, and this is a risk where the Cowboys don't seem to be bothered by ACL tears at all. And really,
technology's changed.
Technology's changed. It's just the when it happened, I think, to me, is what's surprising about bringing Michael Gallup back. But if Michael Gallup's your number 2 and CeeDee Lamb's your number 1 and you find somebody in the draft, I think you're going to be okay there. Noah Brown's back, but he's your number 4 at best. He's been the 5th wide receiver for the longest time, so that helps them. I like Michael Gallup. I think Dak really likes Michael Gallup, so that's going to be a nice thing for them. Although, will he play? When will he play? Is the big question.
He makes big plays. He has some drops, but he seems to be. Again, they have had their receiving core, and they didn't win a playoff game. It's just insane with CD, Gallup, Cooper, Cedric Wilson.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised by the whole Amari thing. I mean, just kind of how that flipped, because if you would have talked about this a year ago, I mean, there's probably still some folks who would debate Amari and Gallup, but it sure did seem like it was going to be Team Amari there for the longest time, and now here we are, and he's probably on his way out, and Gallup's going to be around for a while longer, and like by default becomes the number 2 wide receiver behind CeeDee Lamb, right? So, yeah, just hopefully for his sake, he's healthy as soon as possible and can get over any injury issues. But he's a good player when he's healthy. I don't think anybody questions that. But yeah, just kind of surprising that we're here and he's the guy that's getting ready to sign a new contract.
Yep. Number 2, no long-term deal for Dalton Schultz yet, but I think they might ride this one out on the franchise tag this year and just see what happens.
Why not?
And I would, and draft somebody, maybe so he goes back into free agency next year. You've at least weathered the storm of not having a tight end, and you can see what it is, see if he's worth signing to a long-term deal, and you can, you have until July 15th to do it, but I don't think that's going to happen. And the Cowboys don't really do this until July 13th anyway, when they use the franchise tag.
Next time, I want you to take a highlight reel of Dalton Schultz this year, and I want you to go through every catch he made, and I want you to tell me how many times, percentage-wise, he caught a pass and turned right or left and always avoided being hit. It's like insane. It's just something I just noticed about him. Witten we could never knock him down. Dalton Schultz always, even when he catches it like this with people behind him, always made the right move to go right or left, and it was almost like mothers have eyes in the back of their head type stuff.
Yeah.
I know that's bizarre.
I'll tell you, I remember his first game where he started and played really poorly, and it just let everybody who covered the Cowboys like, oh, Dalton Schultz, and he's turned out really well.
Stanford guy?
I believe so, yeah. Yeah. All right, and number 1, no Tank and no Coupe. I think both of them are probably gone. And that's a huge hit for the locker room. No Tank, no Coupe, number 1.
You know what, though? There are times the Cowboys would never have allowed them to walk away, overpaid for them, extended them too early, and screwed things up. And or there are times in which, it's hard for Jerry to let weapons and stars and toys go.
Yeah. You throw it at number 1 there.
Some of those franchises who have had success, not always, allowed sometimes their stars to walk away and still won.
Yeah, but the reason I think of Amari Cooper, it's the writing's on the wall. With Tank, if you think about it, and Jane Slater made this point on Twitter earlier today, and it was a great one. You remember how contentious the negotiations were when he wanted to come back, and they wanted him back, and they had salary cap room. Now, given no salary cap room, I don't think DeMarcus Lawrence is want to do the Cowboys any favors because he kind of told him that the first time. He's like, look, that's your problem, not mine. Yeah. So both these guys will be free agents in earnest for about 40 minutes. As long as they want to take visits.
Yeah, they got a lot of. It seemed like they've made some of those. We'll see what happens, and good for them. I mean, you got to make this so you move on.
If I was him, I'm not taking a pay cut.
No.
I'm absolutely not taking a pay cut. The quarterbacks who are going to get their money regardless, they can be the ones that take the pay cuts. We can restructure Dak 25 times and he'll still get all his money. But yeah, if I was some of these other guys, I'm not taking a pay cut, especially with what he's probably going to end up with when all is said and done. Yeah, and I don't blame him one bit. But yeah, I mean, it is kind of surprising that you can look at an offseason where you are, you're bringing back Dalton Schultz and Michael Gallup will be your number 2, but you're losing Amari Cooper and Tank Lawrence and who else did you mention?
And you might potentially lose Randy Gregory.
Yeah,
so
pretty crazy.
Although I do think if they let Tank Lawrence go, then Randy Gregory's probably the offing. But
seems to be the move. Yeah.
All right, Armstrong, Sims, also Emery Winter.